Hiya, Cosmic Cat here. Let's read our daily affirmations for the inner child. We are on April 3rd. And because sometimes it's super difficult to get these all within 3 minutes, I think I'm actually just going to extend these. These are not going to be short videos anymore. They're just going to be regular videos that are not really that long, if that makes sense. Because sometimes there's other further deeper messages that I'd like to share and I'm being guided to share with you, but I just can't squeeze that in 3 minutes, okay? So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start with April 3rd, and the key word is bonding. How are you with bonding? When you think of the word bonding, do you cringe? Do you feel comforted? What sort of sensations do you feel in your body? So think of that word and think of what it means to you. Also, perhaps even journal about the word bonding. How do you define the word bonding? Okay. It's important to find what pleases me. As a baby, it was important to squirm to find the most comfortable position. Through struggling, each of us learns to physically bond with others. But many of us were raised by parents who were addicts that became impatient with our squirming. Some of us were raised with narcissistic parents who interpreted our squirming as an insult, that the child doesn't want to be held at all. So we learned quite early to adjust our behavior to please our parents. In my adulthood, there still exists an infant who longs for bonding. When I am hugged or embraced, I become stiff and unyielding. If I'm uncomfortable, I stay quiet. Today, when I am touched or hugged by someone I trust, I will squirm and struggle all I want until I am comfortable. I will tell my inner child that it's okay to find out what pleases you. It's important for me to find my place with others. Okay? So how do you feel when it comes to bonding? It's interesting that this is talking about hugs too, because I remember one of a coworker was years ago, the first time I encountered someone that did not want to hug. And this was before COVID as well. But I didn't understand and I didn't know what that meant or why they didn't want to be touched. And I felt immediately that there was a deeper wound there as to why that is. Like my mind kind of thought to, were they abused, were they neglected? And it looks as though that could have been the case with some. I'm not saying that this my coworker was. I'm just saying that I do like to think about. I'm a philosopher. I'm a Sagittarius. That's what I do. So, you know, this is all about being yourself, holding space for yourself, and allowing yourself to squirm about if you want to squirm about, allowing your energy to be what it is, and to also, if you feel like you don't want to hug or a hug, it's okay to do that. It's okay to be that, but to understand why, understand the deep meaning behind it. Because oftentimes once we get to the understanding and the deep root of it all, we're able to actually work toward it and heal. That's what you're doing now by watching this video. You're working toward getting closer with your inner child and toward healing some deep-seated wounds so that they don't run your life anymore, so that you're able to actually enjoy your life on a different level, a daily basis. And it doesn't mean that you haven't ever enjoyed it. It just means that the joy that you are going to create for yourself, and the self-worth, the self-value, the self-respect, all of those that you're going to carry within yourself are going to raise your confidence, your willpower, and allow you to know what bonding means to you, to allow you to say the word bonding without cringing, without crying, without tensing up, without feeling like, oh no, I've already done something wrong. Like being open and able to be yourself, and to be in environments where you're able to hold space for yourself and others also hold space for you, because ultimately we want to surround ourselves with people and environments that are going to accommodate what we're looking for in our lives. if we want to, if we really want to get to a spot where it's okay for someone to actually hold your hand, and that just be a holding of your hand, like a friend to a friend, or a hug being just a hug of like our hearts are going to touch and we're going to share compassion for each other. Knowing that those were intended to be there for ultimately for the love of 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 life, knowing that. Yeah, adjusting your behavior. So you can readjust your behavior. You can readjust your behavior. Let's go ahead and pull. This is the Spellcasting Oracle deck. And let's see what Spirit has for us. It's this one. So it's on the bottom. So there's something about going from the bottom to the top, okay? And it's manifestation. Manifestation. Manifest this new definition of bonding in your life. Here you are holding the light in front of an extremely full moon. There's light coming from your heart. We are seeing the backside, the bottom. Look at that. The backside, the bottom to the top, to where you're going to shine. You're going to shine and bring it all forth and allow the healing to naturally occur as you journal, as you reach deep into your life and understand what you're comfortable with, what you're uncomfortable with. And instead of being quiet, instead of becoming stiff or unyielding when someone hugs you, or being quiet, instead of being stiff or unyielding when somebody hugs you, you're able to actually like speak. Number one, if you don't want the hug, to have a healthy boundary. That's a healthy boundary. You sharing, thank you for offering the hug to me, but at this time I'm really, I'm really guided to just have a line here right now, and I'm not comfortable with getting a hug at this moment. It's nothing personal towards you. It's something that I'm working through on my own behalf. If you could just respect my decision, thank you. You can find a way to comfortably say, to speak to others that you aren't really wanting a hug right now. You don't have to be nasty or rude or mean to them or project onto them anything that you're feeling. You can simply just say, thank you for offering the hug, but I am going to decline at this time for my own reasons and thoughts. You don't really have to say a whole lot. You can just simply just allowing them to know that you appreciate the hug offer, but you're in a different space at this time. Maybe another time I'll be ready. Maybe another time I'll be ready, but right now I'm just not there yet. And you don't have to share anything as less or anything more. It's just as long as you're letting them know that you're not personally against them and that you are saying no. You can just say no. I find it personally more clear if you actually say, no, I'm actually working on, something in that area. I'm transitioning at this time and I'm just not ready. I'm just not there yet. When I am ready for a hug, I will let you know. Thank you. Um, touching too. Yeah, I went to console someone and touch their back and just kind of rub like that before, and they jumped. And again, they did not want to be touched. And it was just I guess it was a misunderstanding, from if they understood that I was kind of trying to comfort them, then perhaps maybe then they would understand that I had positive intentions. For them, though, it may have triggered a past memory of one of this moment of bonding, of how you weren't able to be yourself. You couldn't squirm. You had to do things the exact way that others wanted, as opposed to the way that you were intended to be, your true authentic self. So, manifest opening up your true authentic self so that you can allow those who want to provide compassion for you and give you a hug, or let you know that they're thinking of you, or let you know that they want to, that they're supportive of you, because it's important to have that, you know? Yeah, it's important to have support. So this is the message that I have for you today. I hope it resonates. Please let me know in the comments below. Also, how you feel about the short videos versus the longer ones, the extended ones. So we'll go by that and see what works best. Have a cosmic day and tonight, yo.